FIFA World Cup 2034 being awarded to Saudi Arabia was a call that put both FIFA and Saudi in the spotlight. For various reasons, Saudi's history with women's rights, their past with human rights violations, both questionable. When FIFA announced them as the host, it drew heavy backlash globally. Now Saudi Arabia's ambassador to the United Kingdom has kicked up a fresh storm. The official said there won't be a drop of alcohol in the entire nation during the World Cup in 2034.
Plenty of fun can be had without alcohol. It's not 100% necessary. And if you want to drink after you leave, you're welcome to. But at the moment, we don't have alcohol. Rather like our weather, it's a dry country.
The ambassador says you don't need alcohol to have fun. Yes, I agree. You don't need to be intoxicated to enjoy a good sporting contest and an event, right? Fun is subjective and hence works both ways. The sport we are talking about here is football, and the event, a World Cup, one of the biggest sporting spectacles that will be attended by thousands of fans from 48 countries, majorly from various parts of South America and Europe, where football and alcohol are pretty much allies. It's a tradition that has been followed for decades, pre-game, post-game, and of course, during the celebrations. So clearly, this won't sit too well with those who are used to this tradition. And I understand that the Middle Eastern nation has their own reasons for keeping the event alcohol-free. The country is driven by religious rules and their beliefs. It's home to the Mecca, which is considered the most sacred shrine in Islam. But before they even bid for the hosting rights, they were aware of what football truly represents. Because this isn't the first time the availability of alcohol has been a concern during a World Cup. In the last edition of the tournament in their neighboring country, Qatar, alcohol was a major talking point then too. Just like Saudi, Qatar too, an Islamic nation, back then the decision was to allow the sale of alcohol, and it was taken just 2 days before the tournament opener. In the end, fans and spectators were able to purchase alcoholic drinks in hotels and designated fan parks. And this happened only after many voices raised objections and threatened to boycott the tournament entirely. Maybe Qatar realized if they continued to be rigid, fans would not even attend the World Cup. And if these fans do not travel, what's the point of hosting the tournament anyway? Football's biggest component is the fans, the atmosphere they bring, the monies they contribute to. Of course, the same goes for Saudi. The country is hoping to establish itself as a sporting nation, to draw the global audience to their country and be wowed by what Saudi has to offer. And this is sports tourism. And tourism comes with certain ancillary components. But the larger issue is Saudi has invested millions to step into every possible sporting venture, like paying close to $16 million to women's tennis governing body, the WTA, to host the season-ending finale, or organizing the tennis exhibition tournament like the Six Kings Slam, for example, a tournament which saw participation from the biggest names in the tennis world: Rafael Nadal, Carlos Alcaraz, Novak Djokovic, and Yannick Sinner. Again, big bucks to invite all these stars, and each of the participants were guaranteed $1.5 million, and the winner, Yannick Sinner, took home a whopping $6 million, almost double the amount of any Grand Slam. In football too, they invested heavily by attracting star players like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, Sadio Mane, to name a few, to be part of their league. And the final stop in their footballing ambitions is a successful FIFA World Cup. Anything less than what Saudi is promising would be considered a failure in the football world. And the concern here isn't just about the alcohol. What this reluctance to provide alcohol highlights is Saudi's hardline approach to stick to their beliefs, basically following the culture that they believe in.
Everyone has their own culture. We're happy to accommodate people within the boundaries of our culture, but we don't want to change our culture for someone else.
The question here is not changing your own culture so much as accommodating other cultures. How you can play a good host to a tournament that is a global phenomenon. And then there is, of course, the other aspect of their culture that has often come under the scanner, like when they arrested a Saudi model named Khulud for wearing a skirt and a crop top in 2017. She was later released when Khulud said the video was posted online without her knowledge. It's incidents like these that not only raise questions over Saudi's culture, but would make traveling fans and partners or spouses of footballers wary of just how much freedom they would truly enjoy while watching a World Cup. Now, it's no alcohol during the World Cup. Will it be no shorts and skirts to be worn unless you're playing football? Sounds strange, doesn't it? I understand the phrase, my house, my rules, but this is a global event, and one of the reasons why hosting a World Cup is a big deal is because it is a way to showcase a country to the world. Sports is the currency for bigger goals. So how far can Saudi afford to push the envelope when it comes to playing host? Because this is a FIFA event, and that comes with certain prerequisites. How long a rope can the governing body here, FIFA, deal to Saudi in this regard? Which is why it isn't so much about the no alcohol policy than the adamancy of not accommodating or accounting for other views. What do you think?
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we've put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout the biggest Hindu mandir in. We're on our way to Tel Aviv measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
we were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote efforts. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.